Okay, now we're moving into the took portion, and question number or point number one is what does it look? What is it like for you to try to live in harmony with members of your family, the members of your church, the members of your youth group? Why is it sometimes or oftentimes difficult? Well, I think that we can all agree that's probably because we're selfish and we want what's good for us at the moment, but or that maybe we're just oblivious to the fact that other people need this. Um, be careful whenever we're looking over this one that it doesn't become a bashing session for people. This should be something where they're looking into themselves and why is it difficult for them to do this. Um, it's not because other people are difficult. It's not because that person's been mean to me. Like all of those external things are not the point here. They need to be looking in themselves and saying, why is it difficult? Even if they've been wronged by that person, why are they still holding on to it? Or, why is it difficult for them? And so doesn't have to be a real in-depth discussion in that, but just be careful not to let it go the wrong way. Number two, how can you gain endurance and encouragement to live in harmony with other believers? The answer they've got there is by seeking God for His strength, encouragement, love, and concern for others, and submitting to His commands of love. We must first receive all these aspects of love from God, and then be a vessel or conduit to pour out on others for their good and the glory of God. In this, we got 2 Corinthians 4:7. Turn over here and read that for us. It says, "But we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that the surpassing power belongs to God and not to us." As we've looked at through this whole thing, it's going to be impossible if we just try to gut this out. If we just try to say, we got this, I'm going to try to be nice to somebody, because then those people are going to be the pet project and not something that is done out of genuine love for the other person. And then number three is really, really important, because it's great to know this, but if you don't put it into action, if you're not obedient in showing hospitality to someone, then most likely there's not going to be any joy or reward in your own life for doing this thing. So think of at least one person who is a member of your church or youth group you could welcome in the name of Jesus and for the glory of God. Help them plan this out. If there's one person they think of, great. Have them put that name down in their journal. Don't let it stop there. Say, all right, how are you going to do that? When are you going to do that? Make a time at the beginning of next week's lesson that they can come in and share how they did that. Tell them there's going to be some accountability for them being obedient to what they've learned this week. We don't want them just coming in each week and saying, well, that was a nice lesson, and then going out and coming back next week for the next one without ever having done anything about it. We want them to be obedient to the message of Christ by making a plan and seeing that there's some accountability here. So, number 4, brainstorm together ways you can individually or as a group welcome others in the name of Jesus and for the glory of God. Invite infrequent or non-attendees to Sunday school or Wednesday Echo. Spend time during fellowship time of Echo talking with or getting to know someone you normally don't associate with. Ask your parents if you can have a get-together at your house. Invite peers who aren't part of your regular smaller group of friends. And be sure to keep sharing the gospel as the main goal of welcoming others. I just want to share a little side note, especially on that last one. I was able to share the gospel with 2 students last Wednesday night, and both of them were 16, and both of them told me I was the first person that has ever shared my faith with them. They've never heard the gospel message before. They're 16 years old, living in the buckle of the Bible Belt. That should not be. We should make an intentional effort, and I'm asking you to help me to make an intentional effort to share the gospel with every kid in our youth group. Because sometimes kids put on the face of I'm okay, me and Jesus, we got it together. when a lot of times they don't. But you know what? Um, Living in West Plains in 2012, there should not be a kid who's not heard the gospel, and we're letting them fall through the cracks. So help me as we try to reach out there. One warning here on number 4, also that is typed out there. I think it's real good. Beware of making any of these an opportunity for dating. Um, you don't want to encourage evangelistic or any other type of dating that is going to take their focus off um, welcoming one another in the name of Jesus. Just because that will not welcome somebody in the name of Jesus. Dating generally at this age feeds the what I want rather than what the other person wants. A teenager, again, my saying, emotions and hormones trump intellect every time. And so if we allow them to look at this as a way to reach somebody and welcome them by dating that other individual, I think we've really turned it on its head, because what will happen is their focus will become on gratifying their own wants instead of serving somebody else. And so, anyway, that was just a little side note, and it was free. So there you go. But anyway, this lesson, you will notice, is a little bit shorter this time, and I think that's good because it's going to give us time to flesh it out some more. I will say that I love the fact that Scott and Linda wrote this lesson, because if you know them, like, they live this out. They invite people over, they bring them into their home, they share their hearts with them. It's just a really great example for all of us and what we should be doing. And we could all learn a lot, I believe, from watching their example. So just a public thank you to them, and help your students to figure out what it means to really, in the name of Jesus, show hospitality, and help them to understand that by doing that, they are submitting to God in His plan for welcoming others. Thanks a lot.